Hello guys, and welcome back to another stock market update. So this is going to be a very short video, and the reason that is because there is absolutely nothing happening in the stock market. If we look at this past week, in my last video I talked about this purple line here being an area of supply, or in other words resistance, where price was going to have a hard time breaking through. And as you can see, I mean, we've gotten right to this level, and I mean, we've topped out almost perfectly right here at 33.80, and price keeps retreating back to this line, this area of supply. So the beginning of the week was kind of wild. We saw the big drop and then the recovery, but since we recovered here, we've just stayed here in this range, and it's been pretty boring. Not very good for trading, unless you're like a scalp day trader kind of person, which I am not. It's been pretty weak price action. I still do think we get a pullback pretty soon. If you look at the candles, remember what I talked about, the candles getting smaller and smaller? Well, now not only are they smaller candles, but I mean, they've kind of flatlined here, and it's setting up for a drop. I could be wrong. We could pop out of here and go higher, but I think we are tightening up and ready to fall out a bit. If you look at the VIX, so a lot of times what you see out of the VIX is you'll see these little spike in volatility, then you will see the VIX bleed and kind of get tighter and trade sideways. It'll get tighter and tighter and tighter until pop, you'll get some more volatility. The stock market will drop really fast. If you look at what has happened more recently, we had this huge explosion in the VIX. That was the crash back in February and March. Since that point, the VIX has bled. Back here it got tight, and then again it popped for a bit, and then once again it started bleeding. We're now at a point where the price action in the VIX is once again tight. It's making this little falling wedge pattern, and we are due for a pop out of this pattern. If we do get a little bounce out of this pattern, it won't be any higher than here. It won't be higher than 44. I would think it'd get to about 30. You get a nice pop up to 30, and then again, you'd get a bleed out of the VIX as the market goes higher. So that's where we are. Going back to the S&P, if you look at the price action from back in February, what happened right before we had the big drop? Price got tighter and tighter, and then boom, we got our drop. So, I mean, if you just compare mid-February's price action to right now, it looks kind of similar. I do not think we see a similar drop to this. This will not happen. Hopefully it won't happen again in our lifetime, but who knows what'll happen. But I do think price is getting tired here, and we could see a drop. So not much has changed when it comes to my Elliot wave count. I still have it down that we've completed a wave 5 of 3, and we should see a correction that takes us back down to this area to a complete wave 4, and that should happen fairly quickly, because if we look back at wave 2, that took a long time. That took probably like 2 weeks or so. So we should see some volatility come to the market this week to finish off wave 4. I talked about my price targets last video, but let's just review them. I think if we drop, price could bounce at 32.80. Where I'm going to look to get long is about at 32.35, and 32.17 should be as low as we go on the S&P. To the upside, the only target left is the all-time high. Then after the all-time high, it's just a free run to new highs from there. If you'll notice, I've started to play with this little new tool I've learned, which this pitchfork looking thing. I drew this and kept it here because the top trend line matched perfectly with the high from February. So I thought, hey, might as well keep it. And then also, if you look at this midpoint line, it seems to be where price has bounced a lot over time. So and where it held resistance too. So on a drop, I could see this coming back to this little midline here, and that is also where my price targets are for a bounce. So other than that, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment on the video, and let me know what you think. Where are we headed in the market? Are we going to go to our all-time high first, or are we going to see a little 5% drop first? But other than that, have a great week of trading.